All right, big thank you to our amazing patrons and also amazing sponsors, including Solely Designs as well, and Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini. This is the Crowject podcast, episode 296, where we have a whole bunch of things that we need to talk about tonight, including a huge win against the Port Power, as they like to not be called. All things about the upcoming Indigenous Guernsey, our grudge match against the real black and white team in the Collingwood Magpies, and of course all the other news and all your favourite segments too. Now, my name's Peter, and thank you for joining us tonight. But it's not just me that's on the pod tonight. I've also got Lleyton. Hello, Lleyton.
Hello, how you going?
I'm cock a hoop after Saturday night.
Yes.
It was fantastic, even though we did our best to try to lose it near the end, didn't we?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, it was one of those games where um it was more relief when the siren went than
oh yes.
complete joy because the last quarter was a bit of a roller coaster.
Now, Showdown 57. It was a Saturday night. Everyone was feeling all right. Not to quote Prince a bit too much, but Lleyton, give me the results, boss.
So the Crows ended up winners 13 goals 11 89 to Port Adelaide 12 goals 12 84. Crows win by 5 points in another close showdown.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the round at large in our Patreon specials
Yep.
for our segment street. That'll be at the end of the pod, and also a pre-roll that we've just done too. However, obviously, with so much that happened, and everything leading up to this game, was this on par with what you were expecting?
Well, no, I think I was a bit. It was a weird showdown because I was a bit too quietly confident
Mm.
about this game going in, um, and then I was brought back down to earth in that first quarter just because it was so even and tough,
Yes.
um, just like every other showdown. Because it was almost worse that Port got smashed by 90 points the week before because he knew they were gonna
Very
come out
true.
firing, but I did think we were gonna run away with it a bit more. Um, but it was a contested game. It was a bit dewy, so it wasn't super clean possessions. But in saying that, the first quarter, Riley Thilthorpe was just on
Oh,
fire, marking everything.
we need to talk about the engorged meat bus for how amazing he was. He did poll in the Showdown Medal votes.
Yep.
However, his game, he was spectacular, wasn't he, mate?
Yeah, especially the first half. Like I think he had, um, I don't know how many contested marks. Too many.
Yeah, I'll do a breakdown.
Five contested marks.
Just in the first quarter.
No, it's for the
Oh,
game.
surely four in the
But
first
10
quarter.
marks overall. Like
Jeez.
he just looked like he was playing against kids when you kick it in inside 50, and he was marking everything. And he had like, what was it, four dislocated fingers or something, but he was still marking it.
He owes some mob debts. Like, I know. But
It's unlucky.
it was really good to finally see an Adelaide Crows team kick it into a forward 50 and not straight to Elia.
I know. And
Weird.
even if it was towards him, there was a bigger guy next to him taking marks, or at
Exactly.
least bringing it to ground.
Exactly. Oh, that whole game was just a bit of a blur, like with the lead up and everything else like that. We had Ben Keys before the game, juggling as well, which
Oh
was
yes,
great to
juggling
see.
with footy and tennis balls and all that.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Impressive.
doing great. And also a shout out to the Adelaide Crows social media team who went absolutely ham with all Taylor Swift for 24 hours with every single bloody post. Like, I like my Taylor Swift, but it was a bit, whew, okay, let's pump the brakes. Look, would you say it was one of the more dominant performances from a Crows full forward for a
Yeah,
showdown?
like I think so. I think just his presence, like he rarely lost a contest. The worst he did was halve it most of the time.
Mm,
And you just knew whenever we went inside 50, we were so efficient because it was going to be one of the big three tools who were going to get on the end of it.
yeah.
Which, but in terms of Thilthorpe's performance, like he kicked 3 goals straight. He probably could have had more. There was a couple shots where it just ended up with rush behinds. Like
Yep.
especially in that first quarter, I thought we left a few points out there with 3 goals 4 to 3 goals 1. We're only up by a few points at quarter time, but yeah, overall we weren't playing our best, but there was a lot of standouts ahead of the ball.
Yeah, definitely. And look, I need to give a shout out to the the coaching team as well.
Yeah.
We didn't crap the bed. Like you got
No.
we. If I'm looking here, we at quarter time we're up by 3, half time up by 5,
Yeah.
and then third quarter up
Three-quarter
by
time
2,
up by 2.
and final quarter we won by 5. Happy days.
Yeah. So
Which
we were ahead. It was never in doubt, was it?
very straight worm, I assume. I don't. My AFL app on my phone doesn't work, and maybe the SANFL admins are
There was a
worked out.
few lead changes.
Mm.
I think Port definitely got on top in that third quarter.
Yes.
And I thought they were going to run away with it a bit more, but we were lucky to sneak a few goals by just our efficiency, like a goal to Theo Thorpe, Keys, and then Fogarty, back to back in that third quarter was sort of just against the run of play because, yeah, their midfield dominated ours throughout the night. Hence why Butters got the medal.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was just too good.
Yeah, and
sorry, Rosie.
No, and we had that run of. If I'm just looking here with the how things went, we had a run midway through the third quarter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goals to 1, and just able to sort of just pour it onto them. So
yeah, that last quarter, the start of the last quarter was important. Ranking back-to-back goals and how they were at that soccer goal, which has been nominated for goal of the week, which
was amazing.
It was brilliant.
Although, look, I need to give that Horn Francis goal.
Yeah,
that had.
I think that was better goal.
Yeah,
honestly,
I hate to say it.
Yeah,
but that had shades of Wanganeen in the 04 prelim, sort of that goal that he kicks, sort of against the run, going away.
Yeah, drop punt from the pocket. It's so hard to do. I'm surprised that didn't get a nomination, but probably if they would have won, I reckon they would have got it. It's one of those things.
Correct.
But yeah, what were your thoughts on Dawson's game? Because obviously he was tagged throughout by basically a defender.
Yeah, look, it doesn't surprise me. I do think that Dawson's carrying something. Like he's just not. He's great, but I feel like he's not. He's either carrying something or he's waiting for the bye to be able to really recover because he's just not looking himself completely. And that's not discrediting the hard tag that was on him practically the whole night. But
yeah, it's hard to obviously play.
Yeah.
He had 14 touches in the end, which is low for the season. So it definitely worked, the tag. I'll be interested to see whether it happens again against us. But I agree with what you said. I think he hasn't been in his best this year, but at the same time, he's still been influential.
Yeah, correct.
Like when he's up and about, he had 3 goals last week. He only had 22 touches last week, but he was still impactful. But when he's been tagged, it's hard. Only the really top end players can still play really well with a tag full time.
Yeah, exactly. And looking through the rest of the play, let's just talk about him right now. Mark Keane.
Yes,
our favorite tripper. As we like to say, but
and kicker, which he got reported for. He was lying down and was just. Who did he kick again? Was it Finlayson?
Yes, correct.
That's all right.
We are huge supporters of Rainbow Crows here, and tell you what, it felt cathartic. So it's good that the AFL said nothing to worry about.
Nothing to see here.
But yeah, look, that mark at the end of the game. Probably one of the most courageous marks I've ever seen going against a fly.
Yeah.
Powell Pepper sort of hovering around too.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw his post-match interview as well, which was brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic.
Love his attitude.
Not a word. Like, just
You can understand it. You just watch him smile. Yeah. Nah.
And look, I was locked onto Fog in the background doing a shirtless interview with 5AA. Each of
So
their
that's
own.
why you couldn't hear what he was saying.
Yeah, I was just like, what? No, but look, is it? There have been, I think, probably more at the start of the year as well. A lot of people calling for him to be
Yeah.
dropped.
Yeah. And that Fremantle game especially, he gave away a few free kicks that ended with goals. He was a
Yeah.
bit. He does play on the edge. He definitely retaliates if the opposition players get under his skin a bit,
Yes. Yeah.
which I don't mind to see, but there's obviously a limit there.
Yeah.
I think him and Hinge can definitely give away unnecessary free kicks, but it's sort of the part of the player they are. If you don't want to tell them, those sorts of players, to calm it down too much.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Speaking of Hinge as well, let's talk about the selections, with the only move being look, Brodie Smith in the Carlton game finally got to hear his goal song kicked, and
oh, that was awesome.
Nixie was just like, fucking hate that song, there you go. So it's look, personally, I wasn't a fan of dropping, given Smithers had some form from that game.
Yeah, like he didn't play bad at all.
Yeah.
You know,
And
but I like the integrity of Hinge is the best 23 at the start of the year. He's played more games this year at AFL level.
Yes.
If you were suspended, you don't want to think, oh, well, you're suspended, you have to go back to the SANFL.
That's true.
I think it would have been a step backwards. And Hinge is, I think, a better player at the moment.
Yeah. No, definitely. And look,
but yeah, back to King quickly. He was the only player for the Crows who was 100% time on ground, so he didn't leave the field at all. I guess it makes sense for a fullback, but it's still impressive. He had 18 touches, 4 tackles, and 4 1%ers, and 2 bounces. He loves a bit of a bounce, doesn't he?
It's very, very Gaelic of him. Yeah, bless his.
Still, every time he gets the ball, like every time he's kicking the ball out or he gets a short kick from the pocket, I always feel nervous because I feel like, I don't know about you, it feels like it takes him ages for him to drop the ball onto his foot. Like it's just that half a second slow that sometimes.
I think he's gone.
Like it rarely stuffs up, but it just looks a little bit like he's going to get caught.
There's a little bit of it's like as if when he first came to the club, you know, because he's from Collingwood, I think previously, or like he used to play for Collingwood from memory.
Yeah, he used to play for Collingwood.
He first came to the club, and the first person that was there was Riley O'Brien, and said, "This is how you kick a football." And
well, he's done that well. He's emulated that very well.
Yeah, he has. Although, I think Rob looks a little bit like Naruto when he's when he's kicking the ball sometimes. Now, let's talk about Rob, because he played against a gentleman on the weekend who stopped his haircut halfway through. Look up a picture of Dante Visentini from the Showdown. You will not be disappointed, because I think I said it in the Patreon's chat that it's like as if he got the number 2 on the sides and the back and said, "That's enough.
That'll do.
That'll do." Like the top is just growing straight up, like Nickelodeon style. But look, Rob's game, he wasn't, 40 hitouts. And
I think he didn't really he didn't really dominate in the ruck. Like he only had 7 more hitouts.
Yeah.
But I think it was the around the ground work that outdid Visentini, because he got to all those contests.
Yes.
Like especially in the last quarter, we were just kicking it long.
Yes.
And wide, and he was crashing packs all night, which is the positive you can say for him. And he had 5 tackles, which is good for a ruckman, and 1 goal assist.
Yes, it was great.
Which I can't remember what goal that was, but
I'm sure it
must
was
have been good.
Pertinent. Now, the other one, there's a couple more I want to talk about. James Peatling, 12 tackles.
Yes.
His pressure was just phenomenal. And
100%. I think in a night where our midfielders were like outplayed, he was the standout in the midfield, because he simultaneously loves the contested ball, but also can run really fast out of stoppage.
Exactly.
And 24 touches, the most of any Crow. Definitely one of our best. And 12 tackles is crazy good.
Mm,
The most on the ground on the night. Yeah, just that pressure
yeah.
all night, like you said.
No, it was great to see. And then, old mate Das, 3 goals.
Yeah,
Three goals.
3 goals straight. Didn't
Yeah,
get
beautiful.
loads and loads of opportunities, but he took his chances. But yeah, what were your thoughts on Curtin? Because he obviously got subbed out. Was it in the last quarter or in the late third?
I think it was, yeah, late in the third or start of the fourth for Berry,
Yeah,
which, look, with only 3 touches, whether he wasn't playing his position properly or was more of a tactical thing, I can understand that we needed that more midfield oomph.
yep.
And the fact that
And
we're
Berry was the perfect sub
exactly.
in that scenario because he had 7 touches in like a quarter of footy. You could tell he had fresh legs, but
Yes,
he took advantage of that. He was and he kicked that point on the
important.
siren.
Very important.
Very
Um,
important. But yeah, Curtin, I'm not sure where he fits moving forward in the forward line. Like, I think he's got great potential, but he might be at that stage similar to Draper where he's had a good run of games now at the start of the year, and maybe we go a bit shorter up forward. What do you
yeah,
think?
yeah. Look, I think it's more dependent on
The opposition.
the opposition. I
Yeah.
feel like Curtin staying in was actually fair enough. Although,
Because it did lead to a lot of like mismatches in the forward line. Like Tex would be on a shorter player or
yeah,
Hillthorpe, etc.
yeah,
Like it does. There is an advantage there, but at least to me, we did look slow to put pressure on,
yes,
and maybe that's with that one extra tool. He can't run quite sprint quite as quick.
yeah,
I think keeping it in that forward half is important these days.
yeah, definitely. I mean, look, if I had my way, I would have let Sid Draper rip as well in this game, and even like Tyler Welsh, because fuck it, he'd probably kick 7. And then take himself off at 3/4 time. But look, I need to talk about. There's a bit of an elephant in the room, but Tex.
Tex.
I love the man so much, and I feel
Yep.
like they're trying to goad him to 300, like Rashudo style in 2007. Hopefully, it doesn't result in us losing a heartbreaking elimination final. Better write down the time of when I've said that, by the way. I hear
Oh no!
thunderclouds, which
Don't
is good for
don't
the
put that on
farmers.
the wall of promises
Well, yeah.
for this year.
Someone cleaned up the wall of promises and said, "What's that for?" So yeah. Anyway, I think one of them was Port won't make finals. I'm standing by that. Screw it. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. They're not playing like a finals team at the moment. If they can't win against us, I
no,
mean,
that's true. But look, I don't know.
it was a weird game. I think we were a bit off, but there's something to say of winning when we're not playing
Yeah,
100%, and we haven't always done that, especially the last few
yeah.
years.
And
Like,
let's not forget, we were able to put away a team in Carlton and just do it.
yeah,
They never had a chance. We've now had
yeah,
another game where they were on the rebound. And on socials, we were being a bit facetious by saying, Crom by 90 and other stuff like that. But let's be perfectly clear. Port, I think I saw a stat that in rebound games under Ken Hinkley, Port have not lost on a rebound where they've like lost by like 60 plus
yeah.
or
Wow.
something. So
So this
this
is
is
one of the first.
exactly. And we were able to at least match it and,
Yeah,
ensure that we weren't overrun. And there were periods where we were close to that. So I've got to give credit to the off-field team for at least being able to keep cool heads with at some points, especially I feel like in the first half, the umpiring was very crap. That's another way to
yeah,
describe it.
yeah.
And
As usual.
I feel like, and I'm not saying that because we got on top, but I feel like in the second half it sort of did even out a little bit. But there's no input from the that doesn't happen. They don't collaborate at all. But yeah, it's just one of those things, mate.
Yeah, what do you think about like especially the last quarter? I feel like we definitely played too defensive too early, and it sort of let Port back into the
It's the
game. Like, we were
sign.
lucky to get away with it, but that last 10, 15 minutes was torture because I feel like I was just watching a horror movie that I've seen before.
It's happening again. Legit. No, it's true though, because
Yeah.
I think the sign went up saying it's let's put the queue in the rack sort of thing. And
Yeah. But
no,
when you put numbers behind the ball, like, it just means that when we kick it forward, on the odd chance where we won a clearance, there was no one there to keep it in our forward half. So it's sort of, I can understand them doing that, but I think, yeah, in a showdown, 10 minutes to go, that's just too long.
never ever give them never give the opposition a chance to get a
Yeah.
whiff, especially those fucks from Alberton. But I think looking back, if we lost that game based off of that, we would have thoroughly deserved to lose it. I feel like we escaped with this one.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And I think back to even the first showdown last year with Rory Sloane announcing his retirement.
Yeah.
And all of the outpouring of emotion from that. Port kicked from memory like 5-18.
Yeah, 5-18 to 12-6.
Yeah.
Like, we won by 30, but it was just one of those weird games.
Yeah. Like, let's be honest, if our defensive pressure, from what I remember of that game, our defensive pressure was great enough to sort of force them into harder shots.
And we just had a better midfield that night to keep it down our forward half a lot longer.
Exactly. Now, let's go through a 3-2-1, my man.
Yes.
Yeah. 3 for your...
Well, it's got to be Phil Thorpe. He was, second best player on the ground. Stiff to not get a medal. I would love to see a drawn joint medal.
Yes. I agree with
you haven't seen very often.
Shout. Yep.
And then for 2, I reckon. Oh, it's a tough one. I'll go Peatling. I think. Yeah, that pressure throughout the whole night was very important.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was going to say Peatling too. So shit.
Oh, right. All right. Yeah, and then
it's unanimous from the pollsters.
And then Mark Keane with 1 vote for sure for that, just for that mark at the end.
Yeah. No, I agree with that one. Screw it. All right. Well, it's good that we came in unison because now let's get to some amazing feedback from the listeners.
Yes.
But we'll mix it in with any other tidbits that we come up with too. So first off, we've got a couple of voicemails after the game too. When I say a couple, we got 2. So here's the first one, and it's from one of our favourites.
Crowject listeners, it's Chiggy here. Don't know if you've been following my journey, but I'm a big fan of the podcast, as you can probably tell. This time last year, I was on my Bucks birthday weekend, and we drew with Brisbane. My best man broke his foot due to a frisbee incident.
Frisbee.
And I was absolutely pissed when I called the podcast this time last year. My birthday weekend this year has now been vastly improved. I'm a married man. My wife has just seen me so happy. She's been very lenient with me, yelling at the TV. And we've just beaten Port. Don't care how we did it. Team effort. I'm not even going to complain about the ins and outs about how we played or whatever.
Yeah.
But all I know is, happy birthday to me. 119 is 2829. Happy birthday to me. Crom. Woo!
Love it. Love the passion. Love the throwback story of this time last year.
Yes,
this time
exactly.
last year, had a terrible time, had Bucks, but my mate broke his foot from a frisbee. That's a different weekend.
That's a big...
I think that's just because weird things happen when draws happen,
That's
like when the full moon is out.
Yeah, and obviously, we'll get to it in Segment Street, but the fact that Brisbane have drawn again. On Mother's,
Day.
away. Like,
yes.
playing an animal-based team. I don't know what else I can pull out here, but look, poor Chiggy. And a big shout out to Justin as well, one of our amazing patrons, for doing the video about all things Showdown Week as well. I added some of the captions in there, but I really enjoyed his might be time for a power outage. I just imagine there's people that have turned up to work today. We're recording on Monday night, that have turned up to work today and have said, geez, I was really keen for that game.
Oh God. That'll be happening everywhere.
We'll get to some of your feedback as well, where you've asked about what the best thing about going back to work after a Showdown win. Now, we've got another voicemail here too. I'm not sure who this is from, but very big thank you for you sending this one in. So,
it's a long way back to Alberton. It's a long way to go. It's a long way back to Alberton when you've just lost to the Crows. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Goodbye, Justin Westhoff. Goodbye, Ollie Wines. 'Cause it's a long, long way back to Alberton, and it's not quite full time. Woo! Up the Crows.
Wow. What a song.
I always imagine where people are calling from. Like, that sounded a bit echoey, like they've gone to the couch. Hang on, love. I need to go to the toilet. Hang on. 8246548. Like,
he's calling from the past because he's referencing Justin Westhoff, which I know he played for a long time, but I don't think he was playing in that game.
He sure did.
But I love the song. Yeah. Why not?
Now, let's get to some more feedback of the listeners. Of course, on Instagram stories, every time after the game, we ask for your thoughts on the game. And of course, it has disappeared on me. So hang on. Give me a second. What do we have here? We have, right, Mini Team 89. Good to come up on the winning side of a 50-50 game.
Yes.
Very true.
It's an important point. We've obviously not got a great record in close games, I think, and we lost that, the main close game this year was the Gold Coast game. We lost by a point.
Oh.
And obviously last year we lost about 4 or 5 by less than a goal or something.
Yeah. It's Punky Baxter. That was a filthy win. Yeah. Thank you. We've got Sailor Sam _captain would pay big dollars for KO for a mute Dwayne option. Oh, he was shocking. Really bad.
I mean, it was classic Dwayne. I mean,
but see, look, he's so much better on radio. So stay there, please.
Yeah. He's almost got too much time.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have to play. He doesn't have to call every play because it's on telly. So he's got too much time to drink milk, too much time to think of these puns, and he pulls out it's added to the ranking file again.
Oh, you fucking when he did that, and then also when Jason Horn Francis took a mark, and he's like, Jason Horn Francis. I'm like, come on, man, like, don't.
Yeah.
And speaking of the commentary team, first off, it was good to see that they actually flew everyone out, but also
I know that was weird. They're actually pre-game. They're actually on the field. It wasn't just a random.
Very weird.
It wasn't just Mark Rashid on the boundary.
Yeah, and speaking of,
so what's it like down there? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Like Dipper back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know what's happening. But Sean Burgoyne and Mark Rashid almost tooketh out by
by Fog.
Yeah, by Fog. Oof, yes. Sophie wishes she was right there as the meat in the sandwich, believe me. Now we've got David Train who says our city Crom good. Nicho Tana says Mark Keane can have my children. Okay, I think Mark is a guy, so whether this person is trying to offload his children, I don't know.
Oh, right. You can have mine.
Yeah.
You look after it better. You look after it like you're taking a mark.
You're the au pair. Oh, off you go. I need a wipe for this one. Sam Ater says, ha 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 ha, and then in capitals, ha 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 ha. Okay. Laura K says, Garmin Watch says, I'm dying, so that's cool. Can't go to
the
bed.
stress.
Got myself all rolled up, exactly.
That's what it felt like, though. It was like 10:30 at night, but I was just, oh my God.
Mm.
It felt like I ran a marathon because, yeah, it was a bit exhausting to watch.
Matt Parbs with probably one of my favourite comments I've ever read.
Here we go.
What do Port supporters call a close game? Can't be a nail biter if they don't have teeth. Up the Crom.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is fucking amazing.
Geez.
A PDC.
What would they call it? What do you do if you don't bite your nails?
You just go like this against your guns. I like run
it's
it on
a
the
bleeding
bitumen.
gum
Like,
game.
It's a gingivitis game. Oh
God.
PDC 2211. It's 2 comments here. Get a big dog up your Port, and then follows up with, also, the Port fan sitting next to me at the game was a sweet old lady. Shout out to her.
Oh,
Bless.
there are some good ones.
Yeah. Jess Cook, friend of the bottom pager, says,
Yep.
hot, 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 sexy, hot. I don't know if that message was meant for us.
Was it football related?
Yeah,
It could be.
There's been some things she's put in the chat that is spicy. Alexandra has said, I don't even know. I'm crying. Help. And Rachel Parson says, holy fucking shit. There we go. Oh, goodness. You got Facebook?
Yes, I have Facebook, but I don't have the feedback up.
Oh, that's all right.
But I wanted to go back to the news about the Showdown medal. So we were talking about Rui earlier. He was wearing all of his Showdown medals under his shirt also in pre-game, which is great. And he said, well, it's a Showdown. If I can't wear him today, when am I going to wear him?
Yeah, that's true.
Which, you know, it makes sense.
It reminds me of the photo of Tom Brady wearing all of his rings. And he can't move his hand because it's like they're so fat that he's just like, I can't do it. So, oh, man.
But yeah, the first 6 Showdowns, they didn't have a Showdown medal. So they did.
That's right.
Had industry experts rewatch the games and do retrospective votes. And for the Crows, we had Brett James winning the Showdown medal in the Showdown 2, which is 1907 round 19, where we got over the line. And then Rashido won his 4th Showdown medal in Showdown 4 in 1998. And then Mark Bickley won in 1999 round 6, which was his first Showdown medal, which I think was the game where Vardy kicked like 6 or 7.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I did see Vardy Magic was very dirty on Twitter.
Yeah.
That cracked me
He's
up.
been waiting years for a Showdown medal to his namesake. But yeah, that round 6, 1999, I've got to go to the stats. Oh no, it wasn't that game. Mark Bickley had 30 touches and kicked 1 goal. So it must have been the 97 or 98 win where Vardy played well. Oh, we got to find this out. Don't you worry, we'll find
we
it.
are on tenterhooks. While you do that, I can do the Facebook ones.
Yes.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah, Peter Vardy, 7 goals, 5, 1998.
7-5.
Maybe it's inaccurate, but it's having 12 scoring shots from 17 disposals is impressive.
It was a swirly breeze at Football Park that day. Man, 7-5.
Jeez.
That's not. Well, it's impressive.
It's impressive.
Not great.
Yeah.
Because it could have been 12. Zip. Vardy Magic right into us. Now, on Facebook, Brendan McCarrigan, friend of the bottom Patreon, knocked off Timu Collingwood this week. Now for the real Collingwood next week. Oh, shit.
Yeah, this was just the warm-up. We weren't even trying because that's why we didn't play well. We were just like, this is just the prequel.
Exactly. Terry Kager. I just love this. Always in doubt that last quarter. We can never hold them off. Consider us very lucky.
I've never heard that phrase. Always in doubt.
Yeah. Benjamin Fromholtz. When Rosie won the medal, I heard all this booing watching on my TV. Now, okay, let's talk about this medal crap. Okay, first off, I do distinctly remember the only full Walsh medal that happened in the second showdown in 2015.
That's got on in the background.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. In a very crisp 16:9 format on a 4:3 CRT television. Very well done. Played it. But when Scott Thompson won that medal, pretty sure there was some booing then too.
Yeah.
And the only reason you could probably hear the Adelaide Crows fans booing was they were the only ones that stayed on Saturday night.
Yeah, maybe. Because it was... Because it is that awkward 5-10 minutes before they announce it where...
Yeah, exactly.
90% of the crowd's just on the way out.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of nail biting in the comments. That's all I can say. This is a final one. Chris Hartnett. In all honesty, I thought we'd lose because I know how these things play out after 50-odd years, even though the Crows have been around for... Anyway, watching various incarnations of Port Adelaide play against Glenelg/Crows. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Happy to take the win. Always great to have bragging rights. Very true. Very, very
It was like... This is like the 1988 grand final all over again.
Oh, yes. And we have talked a little bit about our season review as well, about the 1990 lead up to the 91 season for the Crows too, as a part of our Patreon specials. So that'll be coming very soon. And also our Phil Walsh special. We had episode 1 that I've put in the bank. That's available on Patreon for the interview that we had with the Just Lawful boys with Sean Fust and Daniel Panozzo, and a couple of more interviews coming in the next couple of weeks too, including one later this week that not necessarily about the Phil Walsh stuff, but should be very interesting to go through and keeping that under wraps for now. Let's talk a little more feedback, because there was something I only just put on our story tonight.
Yep.
Which is asking about what's your favourite part of going to work/school after a showdown win? Now, I'm going to ask you, Lleyton, first. You got any Port fans at your work?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I like my favourite thing is there's a Port fan in my team. They either don't talk to you much or they just work from home that day. There's like he's just feeling a bit off, you know.
Just feeling under the weather. But oh man, I love that. I used to work with a Port fan, and my favourite thing to do, especially the 2021 showdown where we kept kicking it to Alir.
Yeah.
All I said was, if you just downplay if they win, just downplay it completely, just discount it. Don't make it sound like, oh, if we had done this or that, or the umpires, never do that.
Okay.
You pick the good points.
Yeah.
And then you break that part down, because that's all they got to go off of. Like that Alir game where he had like 700 intercept marks.
Yeah, something like that.
All I said was, well, look, if we just hit up a target, it would have been game over. Like, how were we so close? Just play mind games with them. So there ain't much happening up there. Yeah. Now, some of the things that people enjoy was David Train, who says, having however many weeks until the next showdown to give Power fans shit. That's very true. I think it's 11 weeks, around 20 off the top, 20 or 21.
Yeah, it's not for a while.
Yep.
Around 20.
Riding Granger. Showing up to footy training on the Tuesday after in a Crows Guernsey is an elite feeling.
Yes.
Bailey Pink, who went to the game too, brave man, reminiscing on a glorious showdown donut that was enjoyed gracefully on Saturday night.
Ah, the showdown donuts.
Which...
you always see.
Death, taxes, and Port donuts that never sell out.
Never sell
They
out.
never do.
It's hard to find the Crows ones sometimes.
Yeah, so Hope Valley Drakes, which is
Yeah.
my local, can say hand on heart. It's interesting. All the cashiers on the Friday before a showdown, all wearing, like every single one of them, everyone in that store was wearing Crow stuff.
Oh, really?
Like,
That's good.
and like some old school stuff, like a really old Crows scarf on some of the younger girls. Just like it's good.
Nice. That's
And then-
why you shop there, just for the
for the
There's
vibe.
only Crows.
And to get my handful of pepperoni as well, which we talked about in our pre-roll. But with that, asking them, how many Crows donuts did you get?
Yeah, yeah.
And they said, no, we got the same amount.
See, that's the mistake from the get-go. Like, just stock the Port Adelaide ones on the west side of northwest.
Oh,
It should really just be like 25% to 75%. Come on.
that's true. That's a distribution. I mean, it's an exit poll basically. And finally, Joshua Hample just going the complete opposite and saying "fuck you" to HR, talking to everyone on how Port got fucked up. We won by 5.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly a thrash in.
Exactly. But hey, we move on and we bask in the afterglow of just feeling really good about it all. Don't we, Lleyton?
Yes, and don't forget about the double showdown win, because we got the SANFL W. In the curtain raiser, we won by 45 points, 13 goals, 10, 88 to 5 goals, 13, 43. Did you watch any of this game?
I saw little bits of it.
Yeah.
And it's always strange to see, like, you're just like, oh wait, is that the AFL team? Oh wait, no, they're just wearing their bloody Magpies. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But it's at the same time, it's very weird seeing just a lack of people at Adelaide Oval for two teams like
and it
that.
starts to fill in at like the last quarter.
Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting worm. That second quarter,
not much happened. What was there? 1 goal?
well, Port got the dodo.
Oh yes, the dodo.
They're 6 points to
6
our
behind.
1 goal. All of that
Yeah.
effort, and we're just like, you know what?
We'll just kick it once.
We'll just
That'll
kick
do.
it once. That's shocking. I'll tell you what, Port, not good in the SANFL. They don't have stocks.
Well, they had Rory Atkins. He had 30 disposals. That's all right. And Travis Spoke was his debut in the SANFL?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, that's right.
That is so crazy to think. He's never played for the Magpies, and he's game 300 and whatever.
Yeah. I love seeing all the AFL listed players and they just don't have a photo. And then, Jack Watkins and some of the other.
For us, there was a few people who impressed. Chris Burgess always does well in front of the sticks, 3 goals, 1. But I really liked Dowling and Edwards' game. I think both of those could come into the side.
Yeah.
Obviously, Draper's probably the longer term got a bit more upside, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dowling comes in for Curtin this week.
Definitely. And we did ask Ray his thoughts on Billy Dowling, and here's what he said.
I haven't been as excited by a prospect this much since James Seller.
So, yeah.
James Seller, big raps. Wow.
Big raps.
So he's going to play a couple more years and then play for Glenelg. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, God. It was just great to see. And it's great to see just their team absolutely shit the bed as they should. And,
so now in the SNFL, head-to-head, we are up by 2 in the SNFL Showdowns. Which is surprising. We've won the last 5 in a row.
Really?
By like an average margin of about 10 goals.
Well, it doesn't help when they kick so many points. It could be even worse.
Yeah.
Jeez. And I think we play, Sturt, from memory. Is that right?
Yeah, we play the ladder leaders. Sturt, that'll be a big test because I think they're undefeated.
Are we playing at theirs or are we playing at home? Just kidding.
Well,
hmm.
on the new facility, you'd assume that the SNFL would play at Thebarton, but I don't think they will, based on the license that the Crows have with the SNFL.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Here we go.
Because it was only away games is what's basically in the contract for what we've got. So even when we get Theby up and going, we're not going to be able to play SNFL games.
Just between me and you, Lleyton, do you think the SANFL really give a shit about contracts from time to time? I mean,
yeah,
things can change.
Things can change. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Anyway, sorry. Should we get into the preview for next week's game?
Yes, but we also have to talk about AFL women's side of things too.
Oh, yes, the news.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I've got to get to the news there. Yeah. Where is it? Here it is. Yep. Yes, news is back. So, and we have to talk about all things AFL women's too, because they've had their pre-season community camp. The better camp that we like in the Riverland.
Pre-season camp is just the bad combination.
Bad juju, usually.
Yeah.
But they've gone to the Riverland, and I think they've got a training session, and we're recording on Monday night, so that'll be happening on Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. We'll have our reporter on the ground, Lachlan Dand, live at the scene. Hopefully, maybe not, but it's going to be good to see that finally AFL women's preseason is happening. Even though all we found out about the first game for the season is going to be Carlton versus Collingwood at Icon Park.
Oh, God.
You know, this is the part that gives me the shits about the AFL. You've got Brisbane, Crows.
Yeah.
Two powerhouses.
And even other rivalries, like it doesn't even have to be Brisbane Crows. There's you can play North Melbourne, Brisbane, or
exactly
Melbourne, North Melbourne. At least there's two Melbourne teams for you that they could change the fixture for because they're two top of the table sides.
Yeah. Start off with the showdown at Adelaide Oval. I mean, the first one got 20,000 there, and then they've just nerfed it by going to fucking Nord Oval.
Was the fixturing because it's going to be during cricket season? Well, I've brought it back a little bit, have they? The season? I don't know. It's still around the same time.
And we can't say it's during the cooler part of the day because the fucking weather's all over the shop. So
it's just warm. It's just not raining. Yeah.
How's your lawn going, by the way? Mine is just brown.
Oh yeah, mine's very brown.
Yeah,
other than near some of the veggie patch where I water.
Okay.
Sprung up
with your hose. Yeah, good job. But yeah, look, I'm just glad to see the AFL women's side's back. It's going to be Doc's last season as well as coach.
Yes.
It'd be interesting to see what they do from a coaching perspective as well, sort of leading in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they've got someone sort of penciled in to take over, but I think there will be a lot of players that want to play their best season yet for him because from all reports he's been an incredible coach. Yeah. Obviously on field success, but off field he's got a great relationship with him. Yeah. So hopefully we can get past that prelim final stage, which has been troubling us the last few seasons.
Yes. But unlike Port, we've actually had 3 grand finals that we've won.
Yes, in the last
lost
decade.
Another one. Isn't Port's expansion plan, wasn't it, to win 3 grand finals, 3 premierships in 5 years? They've got they have to do all 3 of them this year. Yeah. So they have to go for the triple crown. It's saying the AFL and the AFL women's. It ain't happening. Yeah. But look, it's going to be great to see. Sneaky chance, I'm going to give a shout here, and it might not on the wall of promises, but just a dark horse. Chelsea Randall, as coach.
Oh, interesting.
Next season,
I'd love to see her and Rachich do joint coach, and then there'll be a player coach for the first time in Avalon.
But do you reckon MJ would have the microphone as well?
Oh, she'd still be doing.
Guys,
she'll be doing the quarter time address and then quickly running to do the activation.
Time for the fan activation zone. Yeah. Pick it up, midfield, you dogs. Anyway, so it's
sorry.
Sorry about that. That was hot mic. All right. Well, it's going to be great to see, and hopefully we'll get some of them on too. Have they announced the new fixture?
I think they've just announced when the season will start, but they're not the fixture. Like it's just which seems ridiculous because it's only 2 or 3 months away.
Yeah, but even the second half of the hang on, 55 minutes ago, AFL fixture 2025 round 16 to 23 set to be released this week. That's the most AFL headline ever. We're putting out a press.
It's no news, but there will be news.
So they put out a press release at 8:40 Victorian time saying we're going to release something later this week.
Yeah. Just on news on the AFLW fixture, that it says the midweek games will be scrapped, which is good. Much criticised because the condensed fixture just caused heaps of injuries, didn't it, for multiple clubs?
And it was shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was just putrid.
Bad for crowds, bad for keeping up with the game. You don't know what round it is. There's 2 games in one round.
Yeah, and look, I'll give some insight, and we've talked about this as well. Near the end of last year, doing this as a going concern, and we sort of committed to doing things, reviewing the AFL women's games, it became very difficult, one, to sort of say when we're going to release a pod, and we've decreased the amount of pods we're doing for this year, but it made it difficult to go through when we're going to do it in a good time. And I feel bad for the club, and all the clubs, because when are they supposed to release news? How can they sort of capture the market? Oh, it's just
it just makes it really difficult when you break things up like that, and you still don't even play every team once in the fixture. So
exactly.
Anyway, we'll get to that later in the year. We'll chat more about previews for the season coming up. It is exciting because we'll definitely be a contender.
Yes.
Hopefully, anyway.
Now, before we get to the preview for the Magpies game, the Indigenous Guernsey, Lleyton, our Oracle. Tell us more, my man.
So, today it was released our First Nations Guernsey, designed by the one and only Graham Johncock. Which is, I really like the design. Like, it's obviously hard to describe over audio, but we got the...
we have a shirt with 2 holes and a hole for your head to sort of go through, and where your waist goes as well. Back to you.
But we've got 2 versions, so we're going to wear the red-based one against Collingwood, and then the navy-based one at home against West Coast. But this is one of my favourite designs. It's very striking. They've kept sort of the hoops towards the bottom, which we haven't seen for a while, and I love them bringing back past Indigenous players to give them a chance to design Guernseys. Definitely. Like we've had Andrew McLeod do AFL and AFLW designs. Isaac Rankin did it last year. And it's just a great opportunity to share the stories. And I love that the main crow in the centre is to represent Graham Johncock's past mother who's passed. And there's definitely go onto the website and watch that video the club released.
It's a great video.
Yeah,
it's
talking all about it.
Video.
Yeah, it's going to look great the next couple of weeks.
No, this is look, I know quite a few of our patrons mentioned how they've already bought one. So I don't want to have to go and look at the Crow shop and see poor Murph is bagging everything right now because they're all running out the door. But I love when these come out. Obviously, respectful of our Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander roots of our amazing game too. But I love seeing this because it's a great representation of the amazing culture that the AFL brings. So
that there's such a great platform the AFL has to be able to share these stories, and just
Exactly.
more awareness around it is great.
Yep.
And it's over 2 rounds now, and sometimes we wear these jumpers in NAIDOC week later in the year, so hopefully we
That's
do
right.
that as well.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
and
can't
we're
complain over this one at all.
and we're renaming the club. Is it for the next week or 2 weeks to Koana?
Yes, to
Um,
Goanna, which
yeah,
is
go on. Sorry.
or I think I pronounced it right, which is the Indigenous word for crow.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Now, hot off the press, we've got news here.
Oh, what's happened?
We've secured nominations for both Goal of the Year and Mark of the Year in
Oh,
round 9. So
well
Isaac
done
Rankin.
everyone for voting.
Yep.
So the goal was obviously Rankin's soccer.
Yep, and Keen's Mark too.
Brilliant.
So we'll put the link in the description for you to be able to vote for that. I wonder if Port got one for Horn Francis's one. Let's see if their website. Oh, this is going to ruin my cookies now by looking at it.
You're searching up Port things.
Yeah.
You've switched sides.
Yeah. Well, that's like when I bought tickets to one of the finals, and I was getting messages all the time saying, come to the Port. And I was like, how did they get my details? What's that? Oh, that's right. I bought a child's ticket to Port GWS in 2023. Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't think Horn Francis got a nomination.
Yeah. That's probably a bit unlucky. That was a great goal.
Yeah.
I hate to say that.
Yeah, unfortunately. It was a good goal. Now, let's get to the next game, my man, Lleyton. The Crows versus the Magpies at the MCG.
Yes.
It's been a little while since we've won against
Oh, you can say that again.
it's been a little while since we've won against...
So we've lost the last
10, I think.
9 or 10, against Collingwood. But the last 4 games against Collingwood, we've lost by a combined total of 12 points. The last 4 games. So, yeah. It's a hard pill to swallow, but hopefully we're definitely competitive against them. We match up on them fairly well, obviously, but not well enough to get over the line. No. But yeah, we haven't won against Collingwood since 2017. No, since 2016.
Yeah, we had the draw.
We drew in 2017, and we haven't won at the MCG against Collingwood since 2014. So over 10 years, 11 years now. Crazy.
God.
So yeah, we really need to. I don't want this to turn into a Geelong-style 20-year drought against Collingwood. But yeah, other than that whole history and the bad luck we've had against the bad juju,
games,
how do you think it will go?
I think we're going to lose in a nail biter again.
Oh, no.
And I say this only for the fact that I actually think Collingwood are very well drilled, very well coached.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be an amazing game to watch.
Yeah, I hope it's a bit of a shootout, to be honest.
Yeah. But I feel like Collingwood are the most dynamic team in the AFL in the sense of they can respond the best. And I think that comes down to both a conditioning point of view and just a pure X's and O's. Like, I really like Craig McRae as a coach.
Yeah.
Look, there's been so many close games, as we've said, and, you know, we think about the Dawson getting whacked in the face in the 2023 game. Ben Keys, you know, falling into dirt last year and then ripping off Mason Cox's glasses too. And that I think it was Jamie Elliott in that 2023 game where we lost by a point. I went with Connor and Ray to that game.
Yeah.
And it was just that vibe of we haven't done enough, we didn't do enough. The only way we're going to be able to win this is put in the right lane, foot on the floor.
Yeah.
We need to play how we did against Essendon.
Yeah, I was about to bring up that because last time we were at the MCG, our execution by foot was elite. Like, yes, they didn't have as much pressure and it might not work every time, but if we can use the space of the MCG and play that kick mark game to keep the possession, because that's what Collingwood like to do. If we can do that somewhat, I think we'll go a real good shot at winning. But you're right, Collingwood just have that sort of opposite of us in terms of they've played in so many close games and win the last 5 years like 90% of the real close ones. So if it does go down to the wire, you'd probably tip Collingwood. But obviously, I hope Crows can go over the line, break the drought. I'm going to be optimistic and go Crows by 4 goals.
24?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I think the hoodoo's going to continue, unfortunately.
Yeah.
This is unlike me to be a negative Nancy, but I think it's going to be like, it's going to be whatever the over-under is, take the over. Okay? Oh, let's look at the weather. Ooh, here we go.
That'll be important.
Ooh, thunderclouds. Oh, where are they?
It still probably wouldn't rain, let's be honest.
Yeah. Friday. Ooh, Saturday. 15. 80% chance of rain.
Oh, interesting. So maybe it won't be as high scoring.
I'm going to change my tip.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to change my tip, and here's why. I think we're going to pick Berry in the main side. I think we're going to go for, if we go for team speed, we need team speed. That's the only way. We need to have beefy midfield, okay, and just absolutely just kick their ass in that. Not like Mark Bigley in his last Showdown 2003 style, and just punch someone in the face. Nothing like that. Like actually, like I think if we can beat them in just pure attack, I think we can do it. If we pick fast, then and a shorter field too, and just have Filthy as our main option, I think Tex doesn't play this week.
Oh, interesting. It's not exactly a long way to travel though.
No, it is only a 45-minute flight, but if he's been irrigating his lawn enough, he may be looking to, do some top dressing or something. But I actually think that he's due for maybe a week off.
Yeah,
he'll come back for the West Coast game and
kick 10.
Kick 10.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if we go for a fast midfield,
be a bit more dynamic.
Crows by 2.
Oh, I like it. Oh, it's going to be a great game Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. And I think Rainbow Crows are doing a watch party as well from memory.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, get along to that. If you're going to go, I might go to that one too. Look, we're going to do some predictions as well for everything around the grounds in our segment streak that'll be coming up soon. But I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, where are Collingwood on the land? They're top, aren't they? Because after
I think maybe behind Brisbane.
Oh, Brisbane with their draw.
Yeah,
you would have busted a nut over that. Yeah, that's right. So that percentage of 131 versus our 128. Okay.
But I think based on the form Collingwood is in, it's definitely a free hit for us. Like, we're not going to go in favourites, so we can just throw everything we've got.
Yeah.
Hopefully, come up trumps.
Come up trumps. Not the best time to say that. But no, look, it's going to be great. And look, a big thank you to our patrons as well. Patreon.com/Crowject and Crowject.bigcartel.com as well. And I tell you what, Segment Street's going to be a bit of fun, mate, because we've got a lot of things to get through. We've got Beryl and Cecil of the week coming up too. We'll talk about some tipping results as well. I forgot to put my tips in this week, but didn't really hurt me much. So, Lleyton, thank you so much, my man.
Thank you.
And my name's Peter. Go Crom.
Go Crom.